Hello and welcome to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where it is the last day of late night riding for the 2024 season until 9 o'clock. Twilight Thrills. It should be a pretty busy one because they've got fireworks over on the promenade today. So hopefully it brings more people to Pleasure Beach. They have got Journey to Hell later on this season as well, which means that it's open till about 10, I think, for Journey to Hell. As always, got loads of updates to cover here from Pleasure Beach. River caves, ice blasts, and much more, including Journey to Hell theming that's gone around. And all of these scarecrows and zombie in front of this actually looks really good. Actually, they've got loads of things around here like coffins and graveyards and stuff over towards Valhalla. It actually looks really good. I won't be coming to Journey to Hell, but it looks like a pretty good event this year. They've got scare zones, scare mazes, plenty of fun for a very spooky night out, I guess. And here we have Ice Blast, but we'll come on to that a bit later because there is a lot of updates to cover from this today. Anyway, I think Big One's just open, so I think we'll head around there and yeah, join me from hopefully a sunny day here in Blackpool. A rarity, really. You can buy the people from the Grand Prix in here. Look at these. It's a busy day at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Look how many people are just around on the pathways and walkways. You can come in this park, be really quiet or really busy. Today's one of those busy days. The Big One did open a little bit late today, but the Dodgems are still closed. They were closed in the summer, they're still closed now. I assume that they're doing some sort of upgrades, potentially on the cars maybe. But anyway, the Big One's just here. I think it's only on 30 minutes, which isn't too bad considering it did open later today. Of course, Nickelodeon Land shuts 1 hour before the main park does. And this is where the queue starts. Looks pretty big. About a 45-minute wait for Big One, which isn't too bad really, considering it's a pretty busy day at Pleasure Beach, and it's such a classic ride. Hyperia's open at Thorpe Park, which is probably arguably a bigger, better ride. But this, in Blackpool, it wouldn't be Blackpool without the Big One. You can see this from miles away. And when you come in and drive in on the promenade to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and you just see this structure, you just know it's there, and it wouldn't be the same park without it. I'll sit on a wheel seat, and it wasn't actually too rough. I firmly enjoyed the Big One. My heart would honestly be shattered if they ever got rid of this, but I don't think they ever will. It's a classic, and I think they'll do everything they can to preserve it, which they have done, all of the retracking work. Anyway, we're going to head round back to the front of the park, do Big Dipper, and check out some of the exciting updates towards River Caves and also Ice Blast there as well, because this icon queue is pretty big at the minute. I love Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort. It's such a great park. Where can you get all these roller coasters all together in one? You just can't. And the future of this park is looking really good, which we're going to talk about just around this corner at the Grand Prix, and also the potential gyro swing that should be coming here in the next few years. A pretty big queue for Avalanche, and they actually rerouted all of this queue here, so you go around the back now. Makes more sense. Ride on the Big Dipper, a classic. They are running it on one train though, so I wonder how long it will take to actually get on. It's so great to see the park busy though. It really is great to see Pleasure Beach. Everyone goes, oh, Pleasure Beach or Blackpool's dead. It's not. There's so many people here tonight, and it shows that having the fireworks on the prom probably got most of these people in. And just to have late night riding, Twilight Thrills, shows that people definitely come for it. As always with these things, they should quieten down a bit from about 6ish till 10 or 9. And of course, in just a few minutes, we'll cover the updates from that thing. After waiting an hour and 30 minutes, for Big Dipper, I find myself at River Caves, where there's been basically no update. No updates. Will it open? Will it not? I reckon some big things are happening under the inside, and hopefully preserving its future here at Pleasure Beach, because you don't really appreciate something as much as you do when it's closed. Like before River Caves, I was like, yeah, it's a ride at Pleasure Beach, but now I actually appreciate remembering going on this, and I kind of appreciate it more now that it's closed and want it to come back, if that makes sense. But I reckon some big changes happened on the inside, and hopefully it'll be back next year at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, bigger and better. But I'm sure they'll do a good job at whatever's going on in the inside. Hopefully a little bit of a repaint here as well, and it'll be looking tidy and fresh. And Valhalla is closed. I think it did open a little bit earlier on, but it's closed. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll open later, because it'd be good to get back on it. And it's a pretty nice day to get on it, really. All of these doors for the station are all open. There's boats in there. There's someone waiting at the side, well, outside of the queue line. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will open. We've still got 4 and a bit of hours of part-time. So hopefully it'll open for a bit of late night riding. Potentially last ride of the night, maybe, potentially. And of course, the main update at Blackpool Pleasure Beach is Tango Ice Blast, which is looking very differently. Look at this, there's probably halfway up, or just over halfway up, scaffolding, which has now appeared. I assume that's going to go all the way up in the next few days, as you can see by the boards and all of the poles. So very big poles down here. And yeah, it's interesting for the future of this ride, because we thought it's going to be removed, and then we thought, no, it's not going to be removed. And then there was a bit of period where we thought, yeah, it's going to be removed. And now it doesn't look like it's going to be removed because of the scaffolding that's gone up. It looks like potentially maybe that they're going to get engineers on these platforms and maybe doing something to the middle of the tower. I don't know, but there's definitely some bits and pieces that have been thrown off here. There's even some Converse shoes down there, which are still here from the last video. And there's just lots of work going on with Tango Ice Blast. Will it be open for this season? Definitely not. I'd put 10 grand on the table there for it being open this season. But it's pretty much 2025 at this point. Do I think it's going to go though? Definitely not. I think it has a very solid future here at Pleasure Beach if they're doing all of this. I can't see why they would put scaffolding there if they needed to take it down. Usually scaffolding you put up if you're going to repair it, so it makes sense. But there's lots of scaffolding to go up, and really lots of work going on at Tango Ice Blast. And it will definitely be interesting to see the future of this ride, because it's been up, down, up, down, up, down. Will it stay? Will it go? Will it stay? Will it go? Literally all of this season, but it's looking very likely that's going to stay now. So it'll be interesting to see what Pleasure Beach do, and of course with the rumoured Intamin gyro swing, if this stays, nothing's going on this spot. I love these Halloween decorations that they got out, the Alice in Wonderland themed creepy Halloween decorations. 30 minutes for Revolution, all the way from the bottom of this stairs. Shows how busy it is today though.
Yeah, I'll be working anyway.
And there we go, after a pretty short queue on the big one for about 30 minutes, we were then stuck on the last brake run for probably about 10-15 minutes. The train just came in too fast, so they just called engineers, they reset it, and we were off within 10-15 minutes. Quite cool, never had that happen to me before, so it was quite interesting actually, until it got a bit cold. Back at the front of the park now, ready for Valhalla, because it has reopened finally at probably about 7 o'clock. It has reopened, which is a good thing. Always look on the bright side, it's open. And darkness is kind of overshadowing Pleasure Beach now, and it's time for some late night rides. But hey, this is what happens when you open Valhalla later on in the day. It gets this huge demand to Valhalla. Obviously it's a class ride, it's great. But the only thing is, because it opens so late, it gets this huge demand. The queue's coming all the way out here. I think I'll save it till later, because that's easily an hour and a half. And the thing is, when you open it, you're sacrificing your late night rides, which you could be getting on Big One, Icon, Avalanche, all in the dark. You're sacrificing to go on a ride that's already pretty much dark and doesn't really change whether it's dark or not. That's the thing with opening it late. I understand it's a high costing ride. There's loads of aspects of the ride, like the fire. It costs a fortune to run. So I do really understand Pleasure Beach opening it later, but you just have to expect to queue quite a while for it. Unless you buy a fast track, of course. And here's Alice in Wonderland. It's a very calm and tranquil area. I always feel like this area of Pleasure Beach has just been in a time period and never moved. Feels like the 90s, like early 2000s with Alice in Wonderland there. And you've got hot ice here, which you can use your tickets to get in for a 45-minute show, I think it is, or you can pay to see the full show in the evening. Do you know what? Avalanche is actually really, really fun in the dark. Really good. As I said earlier, the queues do die down from about 7, 6-ish. And look at the queue for Steeple Chase. Literally, top of the stairs.